Dressing provocatively has so many dangers, as we mentioned. Um, I never wanted to be like a baby mom. I just never did. I just don't. Um, I want to be a wife, and I'm okay with being set apart. I'm okay with not being I think a lot of people are like having a baby mom and baby dad, like that's the new normal. And I think as a woman, as a godly woman, as a woman that loves herself, you always have to remind yourself you are going to be different. You're not going to be accepted. You're going to be the outcast. You're going to be out there. They're going to be at the party and you might be at home. Um, and I think the older that I get, the more that I come to terms with that because I'm like, I'm not about to be 40, 50 years old, still living for other people,
Yeah. Yeah.
still trying to have this persona of I'm an IG baddie, but I hate the way I present myself, like I go to sleep at night disgusted with the way that I present myself online, because
Mhm.
I go to sleep every night. Like, thank God, like if my employer were to go to my Instagram, I wouldn't feel bad, right? Like it's so many things that come out of just loving yourself. So I mentioned strategy, and I really want to make sure that that's clear. The dangers that you know the wrong men come when you dress a certain way. And if you're not strong enough to fight off that spirit, it could be a generational curse. It could be,
Mhm.
something in your family that is just trying to keep you down, is trying to bring that same kind of guy reoccurring into your life. And it's like, if I'm not saying you have to go out here and wear silk every day, but just look like a woman, right? Like even I know like even in like a teenagers, teenagers love to wear crop tops. I had my fair share, right, of those days.
Mhm.
But thank God I knew in my mind that I'm not gonna allow this, right? Like it was only so far that I would allow myself to make dumb decisions. Like I was just like, like it was a limit to this, right?
Yeah.
It's levels. And I was like, you went to this level, but you're not gonna go further, right? And I just love the way I feel, like the way that when I carry myself with poise and I carry myself, um, I love like my whole closet now is like mainly silk garments because it feels like queenish, like I'm not about to be going out with no crop top. Like that's not me no more.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's and because being the younger generation, it's almost kind of like that's the thing. Like you
Hmm.
almost got to take your clothes off now. Because I was gonna say, what is, and I'm throwing up my air quotes. What about the nice girls? What about the fully dressed women? Who
Hmm.
love God? And it's just like sometimes I've seen where some women who even love God struggle with that. They're just like everybody's chasing the IG models and those things. And
Hmm.
I'm older, so maybe I'm probably coming from a different place, but
Yeah.
I was huge on the classy woman. I've always loved classy women. Even when I was running the streets,
Mm-hmm.
I liked classy women, and I knew I had to step my game up because
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I tried to talk to this lady at the store one day. I'm hood, and she's a classy woman. And I remember one time I tried to talk to her. She was like, "Boy, if you don't get away from me," I was like,
Yep. Yep. And that's what I do now. I'll be
"Yeah,
like, if
yeah,
you looking like a dusty, like no.
yeah." I
Mm-mm.
was,
And that's what comes back to the strategy because those kind of men bring trouble to your life. They
mm,
bring drama, they bring confusion, and there's certain places I don't even go, right? Like I don't even club no more. So it's no point in me having those club dresses because that's not even the environments that I be in, right?
yeah.
If anything, I have blazers in my closet. I have dresses for church in my closet.
Yeah.
It's the environments that you're in that is probably going to entail the kind of closet that you have. So
Totally agree. This is really informative. The next one, you said instead she will attract males who objectify and
dehumanize.
dehumanize her,
Yep.
allowing her to be vulnerable to manipulation and exploitation. And we kind of talked about that a little bit.
Hmm. I feel like that was covered. Yes, I mean,
Mhm.
just respecting yourself and not rolling your eyes when that dude that you attracted come your way.
Yeah, for sure. And then you said this woman will subconsciously operate outside of her queen consciousness, leaving her more susceptible to clown behavior from others. That is, I hear RC Blake's and that all day.
That's where I got it from. I got a little bit from him. Because you know it's funny, he loves calling people a clown. I'd be like,
Yeah.
see,
Oh yeah. Oh
so,
yeah.
I mean, he don't love it, but he tell it how it is. And I'm like, and that's the thing with women, if you delusional, you won't see him as a clown. And then we get mad when other people call it out. You dealing with a clown. And then we get defensive. He a king. No, he's a clown. You know, like your man is when he really cares for you. And you know, we got this woman like, man ain't gonna tell me what to wear and all that. First of all, sometimes we don't wake up on the right side of the bed. We something that we think is okay to wear outside might not really be okay. So
Yeah.
sometimes we need the husband to be like, and you don't take it as a way as like it's your dad telling you to take it off. It's
Of
just like
course.
it's a loving way.
Mhm.
It's kind of like women, wearing Crocs, how they got that whole thing. It's like just present yourself a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes it's the laziness, that sometimes we don't always feel like putting ourselves together.
Mhm.
Um, and not every day you have to go out and wear your heels. You might want to wear flats or something, but it's the presentation to it. But I don't know if you wanted me to touch on the clown behavior or not, but
Yes, but I wanted to say real quick because I was listening to my old pastor back in Ohio, Dr. Vernon, and he said when you talked about dressing a certain way, he said you could be in a store and you got on your SpongeBob pajamas with your bonnet on your head, and he was like, you just literally walked past your husband because he was just like, he said, you don't let SpongeBob get you out of your husband.
oh,
You know, and I know I see that a lot. And I love my sisters. This isn't a bad session at all, but I
hmm
see that a lot. I
hmm
see a lot of the sisters go out, they got their bonnet on, and
yeah,
they going to get some eggs and bacon for their baby. I don't know.
yeah,
But
yeah. And you know what's so? You make a good point too, though. This might veer off a little bit, but I just had to say this.
yeah.
Um, you know how they have this thing like, don't look like you got money, or don't look like you. And
Hmm.
I do that thing sometimes too. It's like I wouldn't say I'm high profile, but
Yeah.
I'll go out like there might be like, depending on where you live, depending on where you going, like where you traveling to, you might present differently than what you really present yourself.
Yeah.
But there's still a standard.
Yeah.
But I'll speak for myself. Like if I'm going to like, an area where it's like, the difference between the suburban
Hmm.
area and then the hood area.
Hmm.
I may not, both areas. I don't think it's really like, you gotta, because both areas, good or bad, something can happen.
Yeah.
So I have my moments of using my discernment. Like when should I be discreet? Um, when should I, because it's certain places I'll go. Like I don't want no man in this area hollering at me. Like you,
Yeah. Yeah.
like where you at. You about to walk past a club. It's all these dudes. Sometimes you can't control. Say you at the beach. They got clubs on the boardwalk. Sometimes you can't control who's gonna be in that area. But um, I do have my moments of just like I just want to look chill today.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's when the men really approach you. When they see you in your natural element.
You know what? I heard a guy say, not too long ago, he said the reason because there was a panel of men and women, and the ladies was like, why is it that men always try to holler at them when they aren't looking their best?
Mm,
And a lot of guys said it was because they lack confidence. Men lack confidence.
mm,
So if you're looking your best, he's not going to approach you.
mm.
But if you got your SpongeBob two piece on with, you know what I'm
They
saying?
might think you're a one night stand. They might be like, "Oh, she easy."
Yeah.
And you don't even gotta be provocative. You might just look like you a regular girl.
Yep.
But as soon as you come out with your trench coat, pulling up in a Benz,
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
she about her business. So,
Yep. Easy.
yep.
So, you just got to know. And to those who listening and watching, especially for my ladies, this isn't anything against, we're just trying to help somebody out there because somebody got to give you the game.
Yes.
Somebody got to teach you because if you don't know, you will be 40 and 50 making the same mistakes and nobody ever say anything to you. So
Yes.
I'm glad for this conversation. You said the mean girl vibe may awaken and make genuine women uneasy.
Heat. Yes. It's this thing with women. I don't know if men have it, but it's this thing with women. I guess men, when they get all fly and fancy, they got this, confidence that they have. But women,
Mm.
it's like we turn into competitors. We turn into
Mm.
I can take your man, like we just turn ignorant.
Mm.
And back to what I was saying, everybody has morals. And I would hate, like, there's a certain way, like, even a parent, I think, as a woman, right? There might be a certain way that a woman dresses around their father, right? Out of respect,
Mhm, mhm,
for their, I might have to put my hands down, for their, figure, their authoritative figure in their life. And that goes into saying that, even with men, it's like, I mean, even with women, there's a certain respect in a way that you would have, like, how you would dress around your sister's husband, or how you would dress around. It's so much deeper than what a woman may think, right? It's so much. Yes, you can be in that selfish, you know I don't care, he got to control himself, but it's really a certain way that, going around your pastor as a woman, you have to be respectful in front of his wife. I mean, even just him, it's so much things that, as a woman, like, I would say, I can't really say it's natural, because some women just have to have that nurturing, and that they have to know the reason of, like, this whole covering my body thing, because some women are like, I mean, I can be provocative, but I'm not easy. And that's not what we're saying.
mm,
It's all about respect for yourself, respect for others. It's both. But as far as the mean girl part, um, a lot of women that I notice, they'll get all dressed up, and then they have this "you can't sit with us" kind of energy.
mm,
You can't sit at the table. I got red bottoms on. I have a Mary dress. I'm wearing Jessica Simpson. It's I think the thing with luxury, and even you see it in these clothing like luxury brands nowadays. Chanel.
mm,
What do we hear in all the rap songs? Oh,
yeah,
I bought a Chanel.
yeah.
I bought her Birkin, right?
Mhm,
And then these women, listen to it, ties into so much. Listen to the lyrics that these women are saying in their songs. They're aggressive, how they got rap beef. It's so much. I'm so serious. Like, it's so much.
mhm,
I think because I'm a deep thinker, that I just, everything connects for me. Like, I'll be behind the scenes, like, looking at the game, and, like, I'll be connecting dots.
mm,
Um, and the energy is just so, like, it's a difference. Like, even in pictures, you can scroll on Instagram, and I mentioned, you can see the girl in a flowy dress. She's in the garden picking flowers, smiling. What do you see the girl with the tight dress on, and the red bottoms on? She in her picture, like, straight face, shoulder like this, right? Like, you can see it in the picture. And it's just like, that's energy in real life. Like, I'm telling you, when I'm around those two women, it's a difference that I feel. And I don't think I'm the only one. Um, there's a certain kind of, and I think the reason why I mention that is because there's this, like, covering that I don't think all women that dress provocative are comfortable doing it.
mm,
I think it's vulnerable for them. And I'll speak for myself. Even when I was dressing provocative, I was never comfortable. I
mm,
was like, I was like, okay, I'm at this day party with booty shorts on, and, I look like a college girl. I'm fitting the criteria, but look at the quality of men I'm around. Like, this is the men that like this stuff. Like, I just started looking at the quality of my environment, and I wasn't really in, like, a loving space. I was in just, like, a, you know, competition type space. Like, oh, I got my lip gloss on, you start uploading pictures, captions be like, you know, flyest in the city, right? It's it's a certain kind of energy that come with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I noticed, like, even with me, now that the way that I dress, I rarely ever mention how, sexy I am, or how a lot of the things I mention when I post and I have like my blazer on,
Right.
it's like I'm posting my business,
Of course.
or I'm posting today was a beautiful day at church. I love the Lord and I'm smiling.
Yeah.
You don't see me in a sexy dress going to church like I love the Lord, like it's a certain energy that comes with
Yeah.
that.
That's
So I hope that makes sense to you.
Yeah, for sure. You said something earlier about dressing a certain way, being around men, and like you said, being around a pastor or your sister's husband, stuff like that. I think that's almost like a lost, I won't say lost art, but I think that's almost kind of something that's in the past, because I can go places, with the homies or whoever, and they know we're over there kicking it, and they just got on whatever. I'm just like, okay, like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that kind of try to steal your man energy or what. I don't know, but it's just like,
Right. I
I,
mean, you got to be careful with a woman too, because not all women are faithful, not all women are loyal, and I mean, it's just the world, right? It's just life. They could really like your friend and not really like you, right? So it's like I'm coming around you, and it's like every time, how boys friends hang out and they playing the game, but the girl coming around, you're not supposed to come out in the living room with booty shorts on, right? Like, hey, like, no. I know if my man had his friends over out of respect, especially from his wife, either way, I'm not coming out with my nightgown on, right? I'm gonna come out. First of all, I'm gonna be in the bathroom probably for like 30 minutes, making sure I come down, looking presentable, brush my teeth, and I know like shorts are not optional when he has friends over. Certain attire is not an option. And it's not me thinking too deeply. It's you have to think like that. I mean, I just can't imagine like a man just yes, when it's just you and your man, you got your house booty shorts, okay, you got your slippers, all of that is when it's y'all because you need to be comfortable in your space. But if I knew that, a sibling, I had one of my sister's husbands coming over, I got a whole different attire for that. And we got to bring that back. I just think it's very respectful. I think it's showing another way to love your man, being respectful and especially around his friends, like not being an embarrassment, like letting his friends know, not even make them feeling like they have a chance, not even making them feel like, there's a divide between y'all. Like there's no entrance over here. And a way that you can reinforce that is the way that you look around his people.